Stop the cap.
Where'd that car get that nigger at?
What nigger?
Where'd that car get that nigger at?
What nigger?
My people a nigga the other day. They look like the same car you viral on Facebook for that shit. I'm gonna let you know you better watch your fucking mouth, cause I'll be the one to slap the fuck out you. Don't disrespect my people. Don't let Trump have you fucked up, cause I slap the fuck out you. Nah, you look like the nigga who was on Facebook calling my folks a nigga. I slap you. That look like you, motherfucker.
I mean, I don't have to say much about this video. This video is pretty much self-explanatory. First off, you got to be an idiot to be talking some crazy shit, and you got a bright orange tangerine car like your shit is not easily identifiable. Like we can't see you from 2 lights away, or we can't hear you coming down the road with your, late model V8 gurgly engine. Like we can't hear that shit coming. I mean, you gotta be an idiot, but this is when it comes to the white supremacists, this is how, they feel emboldened because Donald Trump is the president. And the thing is black people, we already saw, what time it was with Charlottesville and the white supremacists that are like, Donald Trump is in the White House. And since he doesn't specifically speak out against white supremacists, and you got Elon Musk up there giving the Sig Heil, so yeah, that's right, and the thing is a lot of these white folks, they ain't built for the shit. They talk a lot of shit. They talk a lot of shit online, but they ain't built for the shit. When it comes to, I keep trying to say it, like, black people are sick and tired of white people. And there's quite a few black men out here that are looking for a reason, looking for an excuse to crash the fuck out. Because, they may be going through some shit and want to crash out anyway. We may not self-delete like the white boys, but there's a lot of black men out here, you'll see the type of shit, they'll have their, they'll go out with a bang, and decide that they want to take some police officers with them. Right, we've seen this, right? We call it death by cop, right? Because it's their last hoorah against the system. But situations like this, like I'm like, man, that's your ass. I saw another video, what was it? Yesterday, where there was a white man, and I guess he called the man's son a nigger. And the black man, I mean, just as calmly as he could say, he was like, man, you don't know what any of us may be going through. And he's like, I don't care if it's a security guard. I don't care if it's a police officer. Ain't nothing stopping me from basically putting my foot in your ass. I mean, he was letting them know that he was a rock star away from crashing out. And that guy, that white man, he was like, oh, yes, I understand. He's all, I mean, they always got all this energy and all this smoke. And then the wild thing is, what I notice about a lot of these videos, a lot of these guys are, they're Gen Xers. You know what I mean? They're not senior citizens, and they're not like, 35 to 45. They're probably like anywhere from 50 to about 60s. They're like somewhere in there, maybe 65. Right? They're somewhere in there. And the thing is I'm like, but you ain't built for that. Like, you're past your prime, and they got all this shit to say, which kind of has me, I don't know. I got mixed feelings on that, because, it's different when you talk about somebody who's old and racist, and it ain't mutual combat. You know what I'm saying? But, the way I see it, I'm like, anybody can get it. Point blank period. I'm just trying to figure out what goes through a white man's head that has that much gray hair. You know what I mean? And you out here. And see, the thing is I've said this before. This is why I talk about having a strong masculine presence, because, they'll try that shit with the women. because I mean, that's what white supremacists do. They always, again, when we look at these mass shootings, they go, oh, let me go up in a church with a whole bunch of old black women. Ooh, let me go, to the Dollar Tree, you know what I mean, with a bunch of single moms, right? They always hitting these soft targets. They got so 1350. They got all this, talk all this shit about, black men. I'm like, why don't you go pull up in the trap? Go pull up where niggas is just hanging on the corners all day. Why don't you go in the hood? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you go drive around? Go follow Charlie Bow 313 in his YouTube channel, right? Where he's showing you where all the worst neighborhoods are. Why don't you go, pull up in there? But they don't never pull up in there. But they'll catch a senior citizen, a black senior citizen. They'll catch a single mom with her kids or something, and then start acting out of pocket. Then when real niggas pull up on their ass, now all of a sudden, you see how quiet he was? You see how quiet he was? You see how his heart was probably beating out of his chest? Because first off, they already know that when it comes to black men, a lot of black men are crash outs. They don't give a fuck about the police. They don't care about even shooting at the police. So I don't know, like all these, I'm a law-abiding citizen and everything. Yeah, so you ain't ready for the smoke. I don't even know why you talking crazy, because you're not ready for the smoke. Go back to your wife and kids and go back to your 3% mortgage, you know what I mean, and shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously speaking, the vast majority of these, freaking, white folks, they don't want none of that smoke. None of it. They're cowards. The only time they feel emboldened, the only time, you know what I mean, they act, they really get to acting out is when they're in large groups, when they think they got numbers. That's when they act out. But you catch them one-on-one, they all, damn near every video ends like this. Every video. When they get ran up on, they start stuttering. They get real quiet. They don't know what to say. They looking at the ground like they a little boy being scolded. Every time. Go ahead, pull up the videos. Every time they get run up on, you know what I mean? This is the type of response. This is the type of response that they get. Or the type of response that they give. Every freaking time. And I'm like, I don't even know why they do it. Cause I don't know where this, again, we are not our ancestors. I know some people don't like me when I say that because they're like, you're disrespecting it, but we not our ancestors. Niggas will crash the fuck out. They will crash the fuck out. They will air this bitch out. It ain't no, oh, yes, boss, sir. Oh, sir. Oh, sir. Let me step off of the curb, sir. Oh, I so scared, sir. No, nope. You got gremlins now. It ain't Gizmo. You ain't dealing with Gizmo anymore, right? Because you fuck shit up. You undermined the black community, and now you don't have Gizmos to deal with. You got niggas. You got real niggas to deal with. Now what you gonna do? You see, and the funny thing is, it's like they got this idea in their head that they still dealing with Gizmo. I'm like, you dealing with gremlins, you dealing with demons now. They on demon time, right? And again, it's black on black violence. Okay, if niggas is out here in the hood killing each other like it's nothing, what makes you think that they won't smoke your ass? What makes you think that they don't smoke your ass? Aren't you the ones bitching all the time? In the black community and the violence, the black people commit more violence against white people than white people commit against black people, right? That's your argument, right? Even though most of that's economic crime because you got this wealth inequality in this country, right? So I'm like, I don't know where the idea that you all have in your head that there's not going to be a response. I don't know where that idea is, because again, it may not be every black person, but we have a growing number of crash outs in the black community. And it's just a matter of time before you come across the wrong one. It's just a matter of time before you run around, nigga this, nigga that, and then you come across the wrong one. And then you sitting there, next thing you know, you on the ground trying to crawl away, begging for your life. I mean, catching somebody at the light has got to be one of the worst places to get ran up on. You know what I mean? Because you in your car, I mean, the person, all they got to do is put their arm out the window and get the dump and spray that bitch down and peel the fuck off. Man, that car is gone. And especially in rural areas, and there's nobody around. I don't know if y'all ever been to some of these like rural podunk towns and shit like that, where literally you can catch, like you'll be at a light and there's like nobody around, no cars around, right? Did you see any cars around in this video? Did you see anything in this video? Right? I mean, granted, we're only looking at one direction, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of, when you get into like the rural areas, because, you can tell by the accent and all that other shit, there where us on the East Coast, we would call that shit bumblefuck. All that is bumblefuck to us. Anywhere where people are talking like this, anywhere where they got an accent like that's bumblefuck to us. Okay, if you got a twang in your voice, bumblefuck. And in bumblefuck, see, the difference in the city, well, the reason why people get caught in the city is because you got Ring cameras and you got a freaking street light cameras, right? That's why people get caught in the city. But you out there in the country, you see, that shit goes both ways, with the whole, he hung himself and he was in the woods or some shit like that, right? You'll have like, you'll have events where the black person, goes missing and then they find him and all that other shit and nobody's seen anything. I'm like, that goes both ways. You can get it at a light, So I always, that whole, just the whole perception of the rule of law and that whole perception that somehow you're magically safe and that shit is sweet and that you're good and that you can't get run up on. You know what I mean? I'm like, y'all need to think twice. This is the second video in a 24-hour period that I've seen, that dudes are just, they ain't with it. They ain't with the bullshit. But anyway, that's all I got to say. I just wanted to add to that video. That's my video. SWP out. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe.
Move. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hello?
Where you at?
Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We out.